Okay, this is Grandmother's Flower Garden, part 6. So we're going to start with our next color, and we're going to sew this on to here. And so we've already marked our pieces on here, 1/4 inch, and we're going to sew from point to point. So all the way to the end. Just stay consistent. Try to keep your stitches as small as you can. Sometimes that's hard, but just stay consistent. Everything will come within time. And I am rocking the needle, and I'm actually pushing with these 2 fingers. Sometimes I like to lay my... And then we're going to stop right there at the point where the 2 lines connect. And then we're going to tie that off. Like we're going to, I just do a couple back stitches. Okay. Maybe 3, sorry. And then we'll cut the thread. Cut them short, just leave them there though. Then we're going to finger press it out. And I use this little tool that just saves on my fingers a little bit. Okay, so we've got the first one for the next row, and then we're going to turn it, and then we're going to add the next one here. We're going to sew here and here. And so this is going to be kind of hard because we got to make sure that we're matching up our corners. But we don't want to get up on this top one at all, or this top one. So we're just going to have to play around with it until we get it just right. It's always fun. Trying to match it up. Okay. And we don't want this one in there at all. We just want to sew these 2 here together. So I'm going to kind of pull that back so that way I don't get on it. And then we're just going to do our 1/4 inch stitch. And we're going to go all the way to the end, making sure that we do not sew on top of this one for this line yet. Okay, so we're just going to make sure that is out of the way completely until we get to the very point. And one thing you can do is you can take it and then you can flip it. And you turn your material. Okay, match up your seams. You can pin this if you want. I just am not pinning my thread. And then we're going to make sure that we don't get any of this in any of that stitching, okay? So we don't want to get any of that in there. And then we're going to go all the way till where our points meet. And you can do as many rows as you want with a Grandmother's Flower Garden. Connecting it is a little different. So, oops, got a little knot in my thread here. Cut that out. And so I like to do a back stitch. It's kind of like tying off my knot. I do 2, 3, sometimes 4, just whatever you want to do. Just kind of holds my thread. Whoops. That was for entertainment purposes. Okay. And so then we're going to cut our thread. And then we're going to finger press that out. Okay. And then we're going to take it and we're going to flip it. And we're going to do this side. Okay. And once again, so that's why you got to have both sides marked, because you're going to eventually use both sides. So we want to make sure we don't get any of that in. And then we're going to sew our 1/4 inch. Let me know if the, whoops, forgot to, hang on just a second. Sorry about that. I forgot to put the knot in my thread. So anyway, give you the real life as a, you know, my real life. This is my real life. And so we're going to go all the way to the end. Okay, and then we're going to, when we get to the corner, we're going to do our back stitch. Okay, we're going to cut our thread. I like to always cut my threads short, but not too short. I want to leave, whoops. I think it's because I'm trying to stay out of the camera. Short, but not too short. That one was shorter than what I wanted it, but that's okay. It'll be fine. I may go back and tack that down. I may tack that down here in just a second. I'm going to show you what it looks like. And so we're going to open that up. And it kind of gets a little more difficult when you get the more on there, but it's not, it's pretty much the same. And so then the next one will go right here. And so we will sew the next one on right here. And so you're going to keep doing that until you get all the way around and you have it done. And I'll come back when I get it done. I will tell you that it does kind of look like it's going to be awkward when you go to, when you put this one on, like when you put one on that's flat and you go up. But as you go, you can see it kind of all just plays into it. Just stick with it. It'll be fine. Okay, when we get to the very last one, we're going to sew this to this side, and then it's going to go up to this side, and then it'll go to the other side. Okay, this is where it's going to seem a little awkward. So we sewed here, this block on here, and then we sewed it up here. So we're going to flip it, and we're going to sew here on this, and then after we sew it there, we're going to turn around and sew the next side. It's kind of just awkward, so it's going to kind of fit in like that. So we're going to sew here, and then we're going to sew here. Okay? Okay, so we've sewed that onto there. Then we're going to flip it, and then we're going to sew this way. It's hard to really explain, so we're going to match it up here, and then we're going to sew this, and this just closes up that flower. I'm going to bring my needle through. I'm going to go ahead and do this because my video is getting really long. But anyway, we're going to sew from here to the point. And then we're going to open that up. And then we'll just finger press it. And then you have your flower. And so it's kind of awkward. But I mean, it goes together. And the same, you'll do the same for the next one. And there are 15 of this row. So you have 1, you have 6, and then you have 15. And so anyway, so then you can do another row if you want, or you can just, that's the size of your flower and you can go with that. I'll show the rest of that in the next part. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. I'm sorry, I just recounted this. There's 12 of this one. I said there was 15, there's 12.